But I agree. I mean, it's just like, I think I'm capable of nailing a spot for that every single week.
Absolutely.
Just like this, just a little box that logs in live and it sings a little thing. And then that's like the Acoustic Force Minute or something like that. You know, I'm great in small doses. But you know, that's something that I've never really said until recently on these podcasts is, dude, that's where I want to go with this shit. I want to go prime time. I want to be on ESPN Plus singing about, whatever, Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar or whatever the hell's going on. You know what I mean? WWE coming out and doing freaking spin moves and then getting clotheslined with the chair.
Singing about how the Cowboys just lost to the goddamn
Yeah, all of that. I want to be everywhere. I want it to be
friends that are still butthurt about that one.
right. But it's just like, it's such a crazy idea to be this novelty comedy fun song guy. I don't think my goal is to have a number one single. I don't think that's that cool. Like, so many people have done that before, but like, how many people have gotten smashed in the face with a chair by like Stone Cold Steve Austin on live TV?
And then had a song about it.
That's fucking awesome. So anyway, I'm just thinking, I want this shit to go prime time because it's like, I know that the market is changing to the point where a little 2-minute clip like that could put me over way more than a Billboard song. Because Billboard songs, like we talked about, that gear fades away. Stuff like what I'm talking about, that shit lives forever, man. Yeah, number one single does too, but what I'm going for is that live entertainment aspect, the dangerous, quirky, crazy shit that is almost impossible to achieve. Who would have ever thought some songwriter like me would ever play at the biggest business conference on the planet? I pulled it off, dude, because that was my target. So I think that another Cardone lesson is you can never lower your target. And I think that was maybe what Sean's point was when he messaged me that day, was like, dude, come on, dog. Your shit's funny, but like, I'm reading into seeing you do this. And I know that you're up to something in your brain. Put it out there, man. Yep. Put that shit out there and then attack instead of masking it by just being funny. Nothing wrong with being funny. It's great practice. But like, come on, dude. You can hit live takes of almost anything. Like, where are you going to take that? What's the highest possible level that you can take that skill? And it's like I said, I messaged him back and I'm like, dude, I think that this fucking shit could be on Jimmy Fallon, bro. Like, I come running out of the fucking back, sing some crazy shit, jump over the top of the freaking chair that Tom Cruise is on with a super kick, and like leave the set. And everyone's like,
there you go.
What just happened, dude? All right, we're going to go to a break. And everyone's like, dude, what is that? It's the Acoustic Force Minute, dude. I mean, I think that would be awesome. Jimmy, hire me, bro. Like, I'll do it. First one's on me, you know, because I know that people would love that. It's positive, it's energetic, it's fun, and it's memorable. So anyway, I think that, and that's a crazy goal. So if you're watching this and you're 16 or 17 years old and you think your goal's crazy, think about that one. I'm 37 years old and another kid on the way in November. And it's like, you know, there's no turning back now for me. Like, I already put my whole life into this. There is no turning back anymore. This has to work. This shit has to work. I'm not going to just quit tomorrow and wholesale some houses because this didn't work. When I went through the list today of people to call and I got a whole bunch of people that are kind of interested, and I got to the end of the list and I'm like, man, we need X amount of dollars to survive this month. You know, I mean, we've got a little bit of savings, so cash isn't trash. But at the same time, this call comes in, this dude, and he's like, dude, we need you at our event the 25th through the 27th. What can you do for me? And we closed the deal. Like, dude, I needed that so bad. And it just showed up because of some funny guru video I made with that company 2 weeks ago at the event. So while you might think some of the stupid shit doesn't, convert, it does. It does, because the effort that you're putting into creating a relationship with somebody, even if it's funny, dude, those people might call you and be like, dude, they hired me because of my energy, not because I'm Bruce Buffer, the greatest MC on the planet. It's the energy that got me that gig. I'm sure there's a million other MCs and in Dallas that are better than I am, but it doesn't fucking matter because they didn't get the gig.
Well, I think that's one thing that me and Kevin talked about is, yeah, we're probably not going to be the number one podcast or YouTube channel on the planet, but we're going to be the one that's always going to be real, always going to be raw.
Right.
We want to bring you information. If it's information like this, we're going to bring it. And I mean, a lot of people, they give you information, it almost feels like they're pounding it into you and you don't want to listen.
Right.
And that's what we talked about when we first started talking about doing a podcast is everybody almost pounds it into you. We just kind of want to give it out freely. This is what's going on. This is how they did it. And, go get it.
Right.
Not, just a constant pound of what's going on.
Well, and I think that sometimes people pound it really hard because they want to close you on a deal really bad. So they have their script. They pound through the script real hard. Here's the link at the bottom of the script. That's their presentation every time. The whole entire talk is based on sending you to a closing screen. Again, this goes back to the whole entrepreneur thing. Entrepreneurs got to make money to eat. Their job is to sell you something, anything. So, while, again, I think everyone needs a theme song, the fact of the matter is not everybody wants one. Tough shit. Not everybody's going to like your show. Not everybody's going to like Pat Hilton. I'm sure there's somebody on my Instagram or my Facebook that sees my latest song ad go up or my latest video go up and they're like, that guy fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And they follow me anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's what me and Kevin talked about is we would love to have haters because they're going to constantly watch our stuff. And
I'll tell you what, speaking of Sean has more people go on his comment section just to shit on him, I think, than anyone else I'm friends with. Like a friend by friend basis. Like that's a dude I've performed at his tour and we've busted a couple stages up together many times. I don't know anyone else personally that gets shit on the way that he does.
I've had people approach me personally and they go, "Oh, you follow that Sean jackass?" Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's Sean.
Well, why? Because he speaks the truth.
Yeah.
Well, all he says is bullshit. It's all common sense. I'm like, well, people don't know shit. Common fucking sense.
Yeah. I mean, I had 2 stickers on my old truck for Sean Whalen for Congress, and people would go out of their way to chew my ass.
Of course.
I would like a person as demoralizing.
Of course. My friend Ty Lassiter has this coach who coaches him on like speaking and real estate and a bunch of other things. And his name is JT Fox. And people constantly say that this JT Fox guy is a scam or whatever else, right? And I know my friend Ty Lassiter is legit, or I wouldn't have fucking moved all the way to Texas to work with him, right? So it's funny because the people that say that JT Fox is a scam never speak anywhere. I mean, I could actually just make the argument off that. This guy is a worldwide speaker, speaks with Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, Damon John, Grant Cardone, just like my buddy Ty does, because he's one of his students. And these knuckleheads that can't even get featured at the local real estate meetup are calling him a scam. What do you think that says about the person making those accusations?
You know what I've said for years?
They're bums.
I'm excited to get haters, to be honest.
Yeah, we need more haters. Come, hop on this podcast and hate on us.
Bring it on.
No, for real, because the more haters you get, like my definition of a hater is somebody who wishes they were in your position.
Right, they're fans.
And then they get pissed off because you are where you are and they're not, and they haven't taken the leap to do so. So they decide to hide behind a little keyboard and be like,
right, keyboard warriors. And the other thing is that I think those people also confuse the fact that some of the things that you see on the internet, just because I've done all those things like we mentioned, doesn't mean that I'm magically successful and making millions and gazillions of dollars. Those are just steps on the ladder, building relationships and trust with people, you know? So, you know, if you want those things, or you think it sucks that I got those opportunities, or that Ty Lassiter got this opportunity, or that JT Fox speaks all over the world, maybe you should fucking take a lesson from those people's notebook, jot down how and why they got the gig. Okay. Not just look and see they got the gig, or they got the money, or they got the opportunity, and say, how did they get it and why did they get it? And then try and do that with your actions, instead of sitting and saying, this person is a scam that speaks all over the frickin' globe, when, you know, you're shoveling dirt holes in somebody's backyard working for somebody else. And by the way, I say that because I've done it before. I've worked at a golf course and shoveled holes and stuff. Like I said, I've done odd jobs and shit in between to pay the bills. I'm not any better than anybody else. And that is the biggest lesson that you can take away from all of this. The people that are at the highest levels that I've met don't have to prove to anyone that they're better than anyone else, because they know that they're not. Absolutely. Post Malone doesn't need to tell you, I'm better than this guy or that guy or the other guy, because he knows he's fucking number one anyway. But he doesn't need to say that. Jimmy Fallon brought him on and said number one artist, Post Malone. He doesn't need to fucking tell you. It just got announced. So I think that's something you need to put in your head. If you want these things, say, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do to get it, and then go do those things. And also, another thing is unfollow anything that you see on your page that detracts you from those goals. Because I'm going to tell you something. I've spent a lot of time distracted on the internet, commenting and spending time and wasting time with a bunch of fucking idiots. And I can't get that time back now. I can't get that time back, dude.
You go down that rabbit hole, you start arguing with some idiot.
Some dumbass. You're not going to change anybody's opinion on the internet.
Beat them with your stupidness. That's the problem.
Like the Mark Twain quote or whatever. Idiots will drag you down, bro. Trust me, I've rolled with a lot of idiots. I might have rolled with a lot of dope people, and I'm highlighting that. Trust me, plenty of jackasses in between the cool stories that I have to tell you as well. You know, huge, epic tours that were epic failures and shit. People stole deposit money. On one of the tours that I booked, this jackass stole all the deposit money. We didn't even know until later, when the venues were on like the second half of the tour, were telling us, hey man, we paid, you know, a deposit already for this, that, and the other thing. And we were like, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, we paid this guy. And we're like, so people will fuck you over, man. It's part of the game. So like I said, business structure, build the business structure first, and then promote your business on the end. Don't try to freaking be, you know, an internet business star. You know, you want to be an internet comedian. Maybe the content is like your business. I had to go that route. I had to kind of reinvent myself as this internet songwriter comedian kind of thing, to get people's interest in my personality so I could sell them my product. That's a hard process, man. You know, I would say build the shit first, sell it second. It builds your skill set. Skills are more important than freaking degrees moving forward. Unless you want to be a nurse or a lawyer or an accountant or something like that, you're going to have a degree to do fucking open heart surgery on somebody. Okay. Right. But you don't need a degree to build the next famous app. You need investors that can provide you capital, and you need a technology expert and a great idea that solves someone's problems. How many problems are you solving?
I'm glad you brought up the whole college thing, man. That was one of I had 3 questions for you this whole time. And you just kind of brought one up. We got Dave started. He went off on
Oh, man, that was great.
About college.
Oh, really?
I wanted to know what your opinion was on college. I mean, you mentioned outside of being a nurse or a fucking surgeon or whatever. Do you think that the kids should be going to college? I mean,
okay, so I think that formal education is great in specific areas. So, like, I got a formal education in computers and audio production. And I went to pretty much a trade school, I guess you could call it, that gave people degrees. It was very helpful. Trades, as we're noticing, there's not enough people that are skilled at trades. And the pay for a trade is way, way, way higher than people that even have MBAs. But that doesn't mean that if you don't go get your MBA that you can't be successful in some type of MBA-based environment. So you can't be a doctor or a lawyer without the formal education to qualify to be those things. But here's the thing. Doctors and lawyers and all that kind of stuff eventually have to sell whatever it is that they're doing. You could be a lawyer and all of that, but if you don't know how to sell your service, you're going to fail anyway, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like my friend Cole Casey, prime example. Cole Casey is a lawyer in San Diego. Very, 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 very good at what he does. Cole Casey helps people get out of DUI situations. Not really get out of, okay? But he can help you get out of being punished more severely with a DUI charge. How do I know this? Well, do the fucking math. Do the fucking math, people, okay? I'm not perfect. California is a zero tolerance state, okay? So it doesn't matter if you're under the legal limit or if you're over the legal limit. You can get charged with driving under the influence if you have Sudafed in your system and you're tired. This is why I'm telling you, I know this from experience. So Cole is very good at making sure Pat doesn't go to jail on some wacky bullshit charge, right? But Cole costs a lot of money. How bad do you want to not go to jail in a zero tolerance state for some bullshit? A lot, Cole. A lot. It's like the sell me your pen thing on the Wolf of Wall Street. Now, if Cole doesn't pass the bar exam and get an education in the state of California and get certified by the state of California and have all these pieces of paper and licenses in the state of California, he can't save Pat's ass on some bullshit, right? So thank God Cole went to fucking law school.
So what you're saying is don't get a degree in interpretive dance.
I mean,
or left-handed pottery.
I mean, yeah. So again, I think that there are some very, very, very necessary degrees out there that can help a lot of people when it comes to formal education. My sister has a physical therapy degree. It was very expensive. She's a really good physical therapist. She works at Washington University now, which is one of the best schools in the entire country to teach, especially in the medical and health department. And she wouldn't be able to do that if she didn't have a formal education. Now, Pat, on the other hand, could I have learned how to do what I do on YouTube and be just as good at it right now as paying a whole bunch of money to get a computer acoustic arts and pretty much fucking rock and roll production degree? Do I need a rock and roll production degree to be a fucking rock star? Does Bon Jovi have a audio arts and acoustics master's degree? Fuck no. He wrote Living on a Prayer. So, the knife cuts both ways. The knife cuts both ways. I didn't get that job working for Tom Petty for any reason other than the fact that I showed up to be an intern at that company, busted my ass, and built relationships with people. I was probably the worst computer engineer out of anybody in the warehouse that worked.
But you were eager to learn.
But I was eager to learn. I was coachable, and I was willing to put forth the energy that was received by the artists that I always worked with in the right way that got me in the right doors. Same thing with Cardone, same thing with Vaynerchuk. This has proven itself time and time and time again that what I do is way more of a people business to get the deals than it is a talent business. There's a lot of shitbag, untalented artists that made it because they looked a certain way or they had the right managers. I mean, let's face the facts. You play some of this stuff back with no auto-tune, it probably sounds like a horse shitting behind a frickin' rodeo.
That's all rap now.
But these chicks are hot as fuck on Instagram and they have 34 million followers. Therefore, it converts to sales.
Yeah.
So did they need a degree to be number one? Or, was it something else? It depends on what it depends on what side of the court you're playing. Do I think college is necessary in certain aspects? Yeah, man. Absolutely. My sister can't be a physical therapist. Cole Casey can't save somebody's ass getting fucked because they took too many Sudafed and they were tired one night. If he doesn't have a law degree, or if my sister doesn't have a physical therapy degree, she can't help some old spinal cord patient walk. But at the same time, Cardi B made it with no education. She was a fucking stripper.
To be honest, I've actually never listened to anything from her.
I just know that she made it and she was a stripper. Those are actually the two facts. Those are the two facts about her that I know.
I heard one song and just stopped.
She made it big and she was a stripper. I'm guessing, I could be wrong, she doesn't have a fucking administrative business degree from Florida State or some shit like that.
Well, they call them exotic dancers.
Some asshole, by the way, some asshole that maybe does have a business administration and financial management degree is helping her be successful. So it depends on what side of the court you want to be on.
Good point.
Yeah.
I don't hate on college, but I also don't think it's for everybody. My sister's living her dreams, and she's a physical therapist, and she needed to go to college. So good for her. I don't think I could even pass the tests. Most of the real estate people I know, speaking of real estate, a lot of these guys, I don't know about most. Maybe I don't know that for a fact, so I'll take that back. Some of the people that I know that are big-time, high-level real estate people have no education at all. They just figured out how to make money on real estate.
Yeah.
Figured out the 5 to 10 ways to take a seller through the process to make a transactional fee, built a team around it, and scaled it. And they're driving in frickin' Lamborghinis.
Real estate.
I would say, and I think some of them would agree with this, I would say I have more talent, more raw talent than a lot of them do. But that doesn't mean that I'm as good at running a business as they are. Their business is more successful than mine because I'm still just pat in the corner right now, building a team. These are some of the people I'm getting trained by. They don't have any, I have more formal education than some of these guys, but their structure and their business and their expertise produce them way more revenue than me. So the guy with the education maybe isn't as smart as the guy who, built a structure around, revenue generation. It just depends on what you want to do.
Right.
You can't go to college and become fucking Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't just go to college and be like, hey dude, I want to be the next Floyd Mayweather.
Better start taking some boxing classes and figure it out.
What class do we sign you up for that? It doesn't exist. So it just totally depends on what you want. You got a fucking bow and arrow on the back of your ceiling or your wall or whatever. Like, I can't just walk into freaking the University of Mississippi and be like, hey man, I want to be the hippest, baddest fucking crossbow guy, and I want to have a show on ESPN and have my face on a poster in Bass Pro Shops that says crossbow your fucking face off. The University of Mississippi or whatever I say is going to look at you like you're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
it just depends on what you want to do, man.
Yeah.
You know,
it goes across everything. I mean, I work in the sewer business. We would rather take somebody with 2 years experience over someone that's got an 8-year degree, because the book says one thing, but experience says the book's freaking wrong.
Totally. Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, I totally agree. So it depends. Some people are super against college, and I mean, I get it. I think college is stupid in a whole lot of ways. I think it's an extremely expensive investment, but like for someone like my sister to get a specialized degree in physical therapy and work for football teams and spinal cord patients and do all the cool shit that she's done, I think that it's very, very, very cool that there was a program for her to get into that specialized service or whatever you want to call it. But, you know, Pat the Song Man, you know, you can't, there's no freaking class that teaches you how to be Paul McCartney. There's no magical class that's going to teach you how to be Joe Montana or Tom Brady or the next Floyd Mayweather or fucking Michael Jordan. It doesn't exist, man. So it depends on what you want to be. How many people wanted to be the next Michael Jordan and failed? 100% of people, because he's the greatest of all time.
I was going to say, like 50% of the kids I grew up with.
Yeah, so you got to think about this too. And this goes right back into what we started talking about at the beginning of the show. What is success for you? What is the highest level of crazy success for you or for me or for Brad? I think that's a question you have to ask yourself. I'm all about like never settle and, you know, hustle or die and all that bullshit. But at the end of the day, you have to decide people ask me all the time, what's the end game for you, man? Like, what's the end game? I mean, is this, and I'm like, dude, what I'm doing right now is the end game. I'm performing. I'm playing my guitar. I'm making advertisements for people. I'm hosting podcasts. This Ty Lassiter guy has backed me up. When everything was on the line, this guy backed me up. He's been coaching me on business, helping me build a structure around my business. His company is on the top 100 real estate companies by Entrepreneur Magazine, one of the top 100 on the planet, Key City Capital. These are the kinds of people that I eventually got around talking about the same thing I was talking with Tom Petty about smoking joints at 21 years old. So this is the end game for me. There is no turning back. Like, I want Pat the Song Man 50 years from now, people to go back and look up those skits and be like, dude, that guy was fucking wild, man. That never needed to have maybe I will have a number one single one day. Great. I don't think that's really my goal. I think as a kid, I wanted to be like a famous rock star and sell out arenas. I already played sold out arenas. Like, I did it. Cool. Great. There's way cooler shit and way bigger impact. Impact is the word I'm looking for. What's the biggest impact that I can make with my talent? And I think this is what Sean was getting at. Yeah, I mean, the Funny Guru skit's funny, you know, funny song thing's funny, but like, where are you going to take that? You know, what's the highest level that you can push that fucking skill set to? And like I said, I mean, dude, late night TV, or, you know, I show up on Ellen, or, you know, I'm on The View. I jump up on the fucking View and, you know, yell at Whoopi Goldberg with a funny little song. You know what I mean? All that shit is shit that no one's ever done before. Like, I'm thinking I want to do shit nobody's ever done before. Because at the end of the day, it's not like I'm reinventing the wheel by singing a song. Right? But how am I going to sing the song? Where am I going to sing the song? Why am I singing the song? what's the impact of the energy and the presentation of the song? It's not just about the song. It's about how are you putting it out into the world? How is it presented? What's the presentation? So, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm big time, like, old school. At the end of the day, I'm kind of an old school hippie dreamer, chase your dreams, man, go all out. And my dad is like a conservative accountant from Missouri. But at the end of the day, my dad supported me and sent me to school because he wanted me to have a formal education and have a skill that, as we're seeing in the long game, I needed those production skills to really form an actual business, because it's the podcasts and the production and the voiceovers and all the little things coming together for me to actually turn this into a business instead of just singing songs. Singing songs is a piece of it. It's my favorite piece of it. But at the end of the day, offering my skills as a service ended up saving me. And so that kind of came from being educated in using computer systems to produce people's live shows and stuff like that. So again, depends on what you want to do.
It's a good example of that is when Dom Fawcett was on stage at the Meltdown, the first one, and all the lights went out, and we did that interview with Entrepreneur Magazine.
Yeah, I remember that.
The lip sync was off, and you went in and just fixed it really quick before you posted it on your own page.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lag. There was an audio lag. So what I did was I downloaded the whole video, which took fucking forever, by the way. And then I cut I cut my part out. And then the audio piece, I detached that. So you can hit a button if you cut something out and it shows up like, a square, like, where's the square? Here's the square. And then there's a button that detaches the audio. So now you have two separate tracks, a video track and an audio track. The audio track was like way over here. So I scooted it until it was under the thing.
Right.
And then it synced. And that's what I exported. So again, it's like I had that shit up before anybody was even home from the event. It was up because God knows nobody ever expected frickin' Pat Hilton to get interviewed by Entrepreneur Magazine. Now, I remember sending that clip to my dad, again, Mr. Conservative Accountant. And he's like, how the hell did you pull that one off? And I'm like, Dad, this is what I told you 10 years ago, is that the business world and the entertainment and production world are merging. People who are business people need my talent now more than ever, because being the boring businessman online is fucking lame. It's lame. It's not fresh. It is played out. People don't trust it anymore. People don't trust, like, if my dad went on the internet and like tried to sell his services, which, by the way, he's so successful, he doesn't even need the internet. There's a lesson for some of you fucking young bucks. He's so good at what he does, he doesn't even have a fucking Instagram because he doesn't even need it. Props to Big Tom Hilton. So moral of the story is people need this service. If he went on the internet and was like, hi, I'm Tom Hilton, certified public accountant and forensics and business valuation and blah, 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 you guys would be like, that's Pat's dad. But guess what? If that guy's on the other side of the courtroom, okay, and he's the forensic accountant that is prosecuting someone for whatever, I mean, you're going to lose. He's like fucking Ben Matlock. He just never loses. So again, he can't get to that position without an education. Back to square one. He can't. Cole Casey can't go in there and be like, hey, listen, dude, my client was tired because he took a couple Sudafed and you're charging him with fucking DUI and he had 0 blood alcohol content. You need to reduce the charge. Now, I mean, I still got fucked, but at least
it was not funny. It sucks, but the way you said it was funny.
But it was a whole lot better having professional representation than it was not having it. So again, these things go hand in hand. Having my friend who is a accountant and really, really good at business structure and all this kind of stuff, coaching me and helping me. And I'm on his real estate show. Boy, that's really going to help me over the next 5 years build this business out, because I'm this talented, creative, inspired, energetic motherfucker that's a slugger, a Mike Tyson style slugger, and he's way more like Muhammad Ali.
Absolutely.
So like and he's just like, I'm swinging at air anytime I'm around him, because he knows how to navigate my energy and grab it and channel it into where it needs to go. That's a real friend, number one. And that's a high level coach, number two, because not everybody can deal with this shit that I'm putting out.
That was kind of like when I trained MMA. I was training in the same gym as Court McGee, man. You couldn't get a hit on that dude.
Yeah, like, dude, yeah. And again, you can't teach that in school. So I think that there's a fine-tuned line of aligning yourself with people that are good in both worlds. There's people talk about this like personality test thing. Are you A, S, C, G, or K, or whatever the fuck it's called? I think the whole thing.
That would be the Myers-Briggs test.
I think the whole thing is stupid, but I understand, like, from my little narrow-minded world, it's kind of narrow-minded sometimes, that different types of personalities and different types of skills and different types of education and shit put together makes a dangerous team, a dangerous collaboration. And, like Eric Thomas says, it takes teamwork. It takes heart to win championships. Talent can get you to the championship game, but it takes heart and teamwork to win championships. I think that's some of these guru lines are pretty fucking solid.
So I don't mean
we've just been like all over the place tonight too.
That's kind of our thing, man.
That's what we want.
At it.
Yeah, that's what we want.
So my second question is a two-part question. Are we ever going to hear another album from Pat Hilton?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And part B is, what would it take for us to get Pat Hilton to be our intro for our YouTube?
Oh, cool. So yes, there is going to be another album. In fact, I love that you asked that, because I've been super busy and I haven't been playing the same volume of gigs that I did for a long time. So I'm actually going to start this new live stream every week called Acoustic Force Hour, where I plug in literally right here in the corner of the home studio, right there. And I sing songs for an hour for free live on Facebook and YouTube every week.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to record these sessions, audio and video, and I'm going to come out with a live album of songs that you've heard, songs that you haven't heard, stories that you haven't heard of maybe why I wrote certain songs. And that's going to be the next album. And I'm also going to have a series of more, I'm a live performer at the end of the day. So I'm sure I'll eventually do another studio record, but that one that I put out was like years and years and years overdue. Like some of those songs I wrote years ago, 7 years ago and shit like that. And it just came out 3 years ago. So I'm due. Yes, there's going to be another album. The Out and About series is going to be me playing at conferences. I'm going to record a bunch of songs, come out with some of those. And then this Acoustic Force Hour is going to be a live show that I do every week. It's going to be like my live music show on the internet. And I'm going to take recordings from that and produce an album that's going to be, Acoustic Force Live. And I want that to be like a series. So I want there to be all these different acoustic live albums that you can go listen to that aren't like generic cookie cutter, super produced versions of the songs. It's what you saw me do it at like Meltdown or at 10X Growth Con or stuff like that. Cause I think that's the real Pat at the end of the day, is the little stories, the little don't give up and all that kind of shit that I say on stage. I mean, that shit is real. And I think that, again, like we got back to the Sean Whalen thing, I think that's what people want, is that authenticity.
Right.
So yes, more albums are coming, and I'm going to start by producing them on my own as live recordings, and I'll put it all out on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube and Facebook and all that shit.
Cool.
And then if you guys want to do an intro song for your podcast, I'd love to do that. You guys can check out my new business website, forcemediaalliance.com, and order your custom song today.
Love it.
Did I sound like a shithead guru?
You know, I don't think you ate your value flakes this morning.
Yeah, really.
Strong enough. You were close.
I mean,
let's start over one more time. Guys, if you really want to get some value, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to type in forcemediaalliance.com. You want to go to the Force Media Alliance. What they're going to do is they're going to give you a lot of force with the media. They're an alliance that's going to bring you a lot of value to your intro song. That's why they're the Force Media Alliance, and that's why you should order your custom song from forcemediaalliance.com today.
There it is.
There's your guru pitch.
There's the guru.
It's going to bring you a lot of value.
I showed my wife that, and she doesn't find many things funny because she's very literal, but she was laughing her ass off.
It's some outrageously stupid shit. That's for sure. But that's how some of those assholes sound.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
So,
why do you watch that stuff? I go, honestly, because I think it's funnier in hell to see how hard they try, and then you look at the Andy Frisella, the Sean Whalens.
Right.
I mean, they're two different worlds.
Completely. And that's what I said earlier. There's levels to this shit. And once you're around it long enough, you can easily pick out who's full of shit and who isn't.
Yep.
It's awesome. But yeah, Force Media Alliance, and that's what I was getting at, is I've gone from just being the acoustic force to building a media company, building a team, moved into an area where entrepreneurship is booming here in Dallas, by the way. So much business going on here. Price of living is affordable. I can provide a better lifestyle for my family. I can grow. Taxes are better. Everything is cheaper, which gives me, more gusto to put back into my business. So Force Media Alliance is the name of the agency that I'm building, and you can go to the website and check out our services.
I'm pulling up right now just because I've got
it. Get it. And by the way, that is a click funnel, folks, an official click funnel. Big ups to my boy RB Russell Brunson. But back to what we talked about earlier. I got really good at these skills before I put a website together and offered the thing, because I can't just say, hey, I write songs and shit, and then have no experience and send people a bunch of garbage. You paid $1,000 for this? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I mean, if you're going to frickin' pay a mortgage or a rent payment for something, you want something that's going to get you exposure and eyeballs and generate leads, get people to the YouTube that can convert to sponsorships, and income for your show or for your broadcast or for your business. Let's face the facts. And we talked about this earlier. Running a business is about making money. It's tough. This took me a while when I heard Grant Cardone say it to really register with my fucking brain that we live on a monetary-based planet.